that Jojo is on Netflix, so I decided to rewatch Jojo. And as I was rewatching it, something clicked in my head. And I realized that the true protagonist is Dio. Think about it. The first title of the episode is Dio the Invader. And I've also been researching protagonists, actually. And I realized the first essence of an anime protagonist is always a sad backstory. And the characters we see first, after Dario and George, of course, we meet Jojo, who's just playing with a dog. That's it, just playing with a dog. Meanwhile, we see Dio, and that he's been abused by his father. And why does he has? Well, look, Dio's father is insulting Dio and asking for booze. And even though Dio's father has disrespected him and insulted Dio, he replies with kindness, "What do you want, father? Medicine?" This shows Dio actually has sympathy for his father regarding his actions, already showing such a caring protagonist. And back to why I say has been abused, because when Dario throws the ball at Dio dodges it and is not even shocked by it. And no, it's not because he's an all-powerful being and instantly read the attack. It was because of years of child abuse from his father that he's actually used to being abused and have bottles thrown at him to the point he dodged the bottle. See, already so much emotion and sympathy we feel for Dio right now. And now, back to Jojo, which his father literally says he doesn't have manners. Wow, I feel so bad for Jojo. Wow, I hate it when my dad says I don't have manners. That hurts my soul. Wow, I feel so bad for him. And back to Dio. I feel like a newscaster when I say, "And back to you, Tom, and back to you, Rob." Okay, that's kind of cringy, but I don't care. Anyway, back to Dio, who is he's pretty much being abused because of his high intelligence. Even in poverty, he's intelligent in chess. Anyway, so once again, we feel bad for him. And once again, back to Jojo. He fights for the girl because he's a gentleman. And people say, "Oh wow, he fought for the girl that was being bullied. Oh wow, such a protagonist." No, alright? Any person who saw a crying girl would help. Come on. If it was Dio would have made those two people his slaves. And look, if Arena was lucky, he would be Dio's freaking wife. Why am I saying wife? They're like teenagers, girlfriend, whatever. Another point why Dio is a protagonist. Protagonists have dreams and goals, and Dio's dream is to become the richest man, despite being from poverty in the 19th century, by the way. 19th century. Whereas Jonathan, already from a rich and successful family, wow, the sympathy I feel for him, he just wanted to be a gentleman. Which dreamer is more inspirational? Dio, obviously. We will see the beautiful scene of Dio jumping so gracefully in the air and defies the laws of gravity because he's just that much of a protagonist. And then he lands so beautifully, just a clap, a clap. We have to clap for him. Come on. You guys better be clapping, I swear to God. Anyway, and it's just so beautiful. If we just started here, who would your main focus be on? Jonathan or Dio? It would obviously be Dio. So once again, another point. And now, after this, in honor of Lord Nuxenor, I shall also say some flexes of Dio. The first flex is already becoming a better son. Second flex is when Dio and Jojo are in a boxing match, and Dio judges all of Jonathan's attacks, showing his skill, and then punches him one shot in the face. But he doesn't stop there. Even though Jojo's wussy ass probably would have been knocked out, but no, Dio said no. I'll actually use my finger and jam it to his eye for extra measure, just to show him not to mess with me and stay in his place. Yeah, that's a great flex. The third flex is just when Dio is questioning the air. Okay, people. Okay, people gonna. People gonna think I'm gonna be. People are gonna think I'm terrible for this. I'm some kind of white people, but all right. But I'm gonna defend. I'm going to defend Dio on this. Okay, I don't care. Okay, this scene actually shows Dio's equality in genders. You see, Dio kissed Arena simply just to cock Jonathan Joestar. Jonathan could be interested in boys, a cat, a succubus, anything, and Dio would have done this complete same thing. And then, sadly, like every protagonist, protagonists need to take the L's, so we can feel even more sympathy and show the growth the protagonist needs, and the space and the training he needs to go through, and the learns, and the knowledge and learning and stuff. So we see this very sad scene where Jojo sadly beats up Dio. But yes, it's only just to show that Dio still has much to grow far as a protagonist, and to be better at fighting and learn the strengths and weaknesses of Jonathan Joestar. How protagonists always sacrifice and risks they take to follow their dream. Where we see Dio, he sacrifices his humanity and ability to ever see the sun again for his dream. Now, isn't that some dedication? Isn't that some willpower of a protagonist? I say it is. Yeah, part 1 of JoJo as a whole, people say that part 1 is boring. This is because Dio, the protagonist, is not in it most of the time. Which is why when Dio actually shows up, it actually gets interesting, because once again, Dio is the protagonist. And totally not that Jonathan was just a boring JoJo. No, definitely not that. Anyway, okay, I'm going to skip to the end of part 1 to show one most greatest flexes of Dio. After Dio not being defeated by Jonathan, as he's still alive, so he didn't really want that. It was his plan, actually. It was just his plan, to be honest. Dio is nothing more than just a head. Nothing more, just a head. And what does he do? He cocks Jonathan and defeats him. Once again, as a head. As a head. If that is not a strength of a protagonist, or plot armor of a protagonist, I do not know what that is. Dio is once again a protagonist, also that's an amazing flex. Oh yeah, part 2 is just filler, so because Dio isn't in it all, so part 2 is just filler. And now, part 3. You might say, isn't Dio evil and trying to take over the world? Well, yes, but who said it was evil? Dio was just trying to take over the world. For all we know, he could have been trying to make a beautiful utopia. But sadly, the Joestar again, who are really actually the villains, to be honest. And didn't even reason with Dio, didn't even try to see why he wanted this to happen. See Dio's dream, or try to understand that wall. They just instantly assume to kill him. And Dio, rightfully so, knows that people are trying to kill him. He sends henchmen to kill them as protection, and so he's not okay. I feel like I've gone a little bit astray from my point that Dio is a protagonist. I'm kind of just justifying his actions. But anyway, back to why Dio is a protagonist though. Protagonist though? No, I'm gonna say that. That's actually kind of like protagonist though. Another feat of a protagonist is that they have a catchphrase or a certain line that they say, which is a motive to them, or just reminding them what is their dream again. And like right Naruto he says, believe it, or I will be Hokage one day. And Luffy says he will be king of the pirates. And Goku says he just wants to be stronger. And Dio's inspiration and catchphrase is Sarudo, which is his ability to stop time, but also I feel like it's his motive, reminder that it's his dream to take over the world. And now, to my final conclusion why he is protagonist though. Again, the protagonist though of JoJo, because of the Jojo and Dio fight, where we see Dio transferring all of his mistakes and weaknesses and using it as advantage in the fight of his experience. But even then, Dio, as the protagonist, still needs to learn more, which is why Dio lost to Jotaro. Not because of underestimation, but to lack of knowledge. Dio, protagonist, lost to Jotaro because he made one mistake. One mistake. He pissed off Jotaro. Jotaro does not act like Jonathan at all, and in fact, he's the opposite of him. So he didn't know that Jotaro was like this at all, and so he lost. But however, even though this was the death of our protagonist, it was actually the birth of a protagonist. As Giano, am I saying that right? Yeah, Giano is born as the protagonist of Part 5. It comes to my final point, that Dio is the protagonist. If you have the power to nut, and that nut becomes a protagonist, you, sir, are a protagonist. So once and for all, Dio is the true protagonist of JoJo. I state my case on it. Okay, wait, why am I saying state my case? I don't even know. But once again, Dio is the true protagonist of JoJo. Because, just a note, like, with my channel, I kind of want to just do anything I want, really. So I kind of want to do, like, a nuts tattoo kind of, like, video, and here it is. So, yeah. Make sure to like and subscribe. Outro.